Hi, my name is First Lieutenant Lydia Wilson, and today we'll be going over how to prep your ABU BDU uniform for a cap activity or event. So first we're going to start with checking over your uniform for strings or tears, and we're going to check especially around where you've put your name tape and your Civil Air Patrol tape, or around any patches and around the seams of the pockets. And we're going to look underneath the pockets where they button, not seeing any strings here. We can go down to your bottom on your blouse, the one around the buttonhole, especially important. You'll just take some scissors, cut it to the smallest extent, being careful not to cut your actual uniform, and the strings can go in the trash. And now, looking over this uniform, I can find no more strings. On your pants, it's especially important to look around your cargo pockets. We will go over the pants soon. We're going to check around the cargo pockets along the seams for strings. Seeing one here, you can cut it off at its base. As you keep moving down the uniform, we get to these pockets here. Make sure that we're checking both sides and down the seams. And end at the leg. Next thing we're going to do is put on the insignia. This cadet has chief insignia. Chief insignia is easier to center, but according to 39-1, your insignia will be centered on the collar and parallel to this edge here. We're going to take the chief insignia and line it up parallel to this edge, then use a ruler to make sure that the edge of the uniform and the edge of the insignia is 1 inch apart, making sure that it's also parallel. And then push down so that the prongs will go through the uniform, like so. So at the end you should see 2 prongs at the end, or at the other side of the uniform, and you should also see that your insignia is 1 inch away and parallel. Then you're going to add the frogs to the back so you don't poke yourself, and that is how to successfully put on your insignia. Alright, so now we're going to go over the ABU BDU blouse ironing. For ironing the ABU BDU blouse, the important points is that your collar is ironed down, that you've taken off your insignia because you can ruin your insignia by ironing, and that you've also taken out anything out of the pockets and flattened them down. And for this particular blouse, we're going to make sure that it's unbuttoned. And then you can start with either side. Here we're going to start with the left side of the blouse. Set it over the ironing board like so, and smooth it out so that any wrinkles that are here are smoothed out. Then starting from the middle, you're going just to run the iron. Make sure your iron is hot. Running the iron up and down the sides, not letting your iron sit in one place for too long. Run it over the pockets and over the bottom pocket. And be sure not to iron in any wrinkles. You shouldn't have any bunched up material, it should all be flat. Now moving on to the collar. When you do the collar, you should have the top button buttoned that you would normally have while wearing the uniform. Then you will lay the uniform out, making sure that the entire uniform is flat, like when you're ironing the left side or the right side. And then you will iron over where the collar normally sits when you wear it, so that your collar looks flat and pressed when you are wearing it. Making sure that no material is bunching up or you're not ironing in any wrinkles. And finally, for the sleeve, left and right sleeves are the same. Make sure you watch out for your wing patch. Your wing patch should not be ironed in half. It should be on the front edge of the uniform seam. If you have troubles with that, you need to move your wing patch more towards the front. But going with the right sleeve here, your right sleeve should be flat. Unbutton this bottom part so that it does not bunch up the material. Sleeve should be flat, no wrinkles on the bottom or the top, so make sure to go underneath it. Smooth it out and run your hot iron over the entire sleeve. You don't want to leave a seam or a crease at the top. You just want it to look pressed and not very wrinkled at all. Alright, for the ABU pants, we're going to iron just the right leg to demonstrate, but make sure you've emptied out your cargo pockets and the bottom pockets over here of any pens. And you will take your hot iron, making sure that there's no material on the bottom or top that is bunched, and run your iron over it, not so that you have a crease, but that there are no wrinkles in the material. And then feed your pants farther this direction so that you're over a new set of material. As you continue down, you should see that your pant is not creased, but it has no wrinkles. And you continue down all the way to the bottom, like so. Alright, finally to conclude, we're just going to go over some basic boot care. We're not going to show how to shine the boots because we will show that in a future video. But when you go to shine your boots should be clean, especially along this ridge. Your laces should be clean as well. You don't want your laces to mess up your shine by being dirty. When you do go to shine your boots, you should shine the toe and the heel. This area should just be clean and free of any tears or imperfections.